What's up, real ones? Welcome to Let's View It. It's me, your host, TYRONE Cross, and today I just want to get into it because it's my chance to gloat, and I'm so happy about that. I get to gloat in every hater's face. All you little haters, I'm gloating away. Why? Because my homegirl, Caitlin Clark, came to my rescue, came to my side, and spoke up for me. Well, actually, she spoke up for herself, but at the same time, she doesn't know this, but she was speaking up for me and defending me. You guys wouldn't believe how much hate I have gotten from these Caitlin Clark videos. It just goes to show how unhinged, how delusional some of these CC fans are. Just to give you guys a comparison, as a YouTube creator, I know like if I talk about somebody that I might get a lot of thumbs down. Or if I talk about a certain topic in a certain way or from a certain perspective, I might get a lot of thumbs down. And the king of my thumbs down at the time was Neil deGrasse Tyson. I knew as soon as I made a Neil deGrasse Tyson video and I started clowning him and saying how he doesn't make sense and how he can't prove none of this stuff he is saying, I know I'm gonna get a lot of thumbs down. And I know that's gonna happen. I don't care. I'm still gonna tell the truth. And all you guys are gonna say is,
well, that was a waste of my time. He's so dumb. He should just stop his whole channel.
But you'll never have a real comeback that refutes what I'm saying. But when it comes to Caitlin Clark, she really took the cake. I think that's the saying. She took the cake, right? Why is that even the saying? What do they mean she took the cake? Where'd she take it to? Home? Is Caitlin Clark getting fat on us? Hold up, this channel doesn't body shame. But I already knew once I started posting videos about the fake hate, the fake narrative that they've been pushing about the WNBA players hating Caitlin Clark because she's white and straight, I knew there would be a majority of negative feedback. I knew I'd get a lot of negative responses and thumbs down. But I didn't know it would be that many.
Holy crap.
I knew the unhinged CC fans were crazy. I knew the racist CC fans were racist. And how did I know this? Because I seen all their comments on TikTok. But still, I didn't expect this many negative responses. All the way down to 18%. That's crazy. At this point, I don't care how bad my videos do. Anything I do is a step up. Once you hit rock bottom, you really don't have to give a fuck. But the fact that I had so many haters is what makes this gloating so great. The fact that the video got so many negative responses, and I'm the one that's right. I told you guys, I speak truth. You want to fall for the bull? Go ahead. I speak the truth. And I tried to tell you guys that Caitlin Clark was getting hate spread in her name. They were using her name to spread hate and racism. She has a group of racist fans. And no, not all of her fans are racist. I repeat, not all of her fans are racist. Why would anyone think that? Who thinks all of anybody is racist? Nobody thinks that. But even though I just said that, I promise there's someone watching this video going,
not all of Caitlin Clark's fans are racist.
I can't help your brainwash. I really can't. If you're watching my videos, you gotta listen to what I'm saying. This is not your average video. I'm not here just grifting and trying to do political things or be on this side or be on that side or give you some catchphrase of the month. I don't do that. I don't play on sides. I see the game that's being played and I expose it. Yes, of course, most people are gonna hate on it because most people are sleepy poo. And once this whole narrative started passing about the black players hating Caitlin Clark because she's white and straight, I was one of the first that wanted to make a video exposing that racist people were hiding behind Caitlin Clark and spreading their racism in her name, acting like it's all in support of her, defending her from black players. But that was not what was going on. I explained in other videos how Caitlin Clark gained a racist following due to the hand wave with Angel Reese 2 years ago. That's how they got involved. For all the ones that want to talk mess, I don't get how you don't understand that. I'm not saying you're racist. I'm not saying all of them are racist. But she gained a racist following because of the hand wave. And that's what created this monster. That's why we're all bickering over everything except for how Caitlin Clark plays basketball. I tried to tell you, then ESPN picked up the story. I made a video about that. And now finally, Caitlin Clark herself has spoke on how she feels about the hate and all this stuff being spread using her name. So neener pumpkin eater. So you already know. Let's view it.
Caitlin, I know you mentioned that, you want to focus straight on basketball. Definitely respect that. When, just asking you directly, when people use your name for racism, misogyny, whatever, what is your response to that specifically?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women on our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah, I mean, this league is a league I grew up admiring and wanting to be a part of. Like, some of the women in this league were my biggest idols and role models growing up and helped me want to achieve this moment right here that I get to play in every single night. So just treating every single woman in this league with the same amount of respect, I think is just a basic human thing that everybody should do. Like, just be a kind person and treat them, how you would want to be treated. And I think it's, very simple.
Boom, mic drop. There it is. Caitlin Clark finally said it. She said it disappoints her. She doesn't agree with it. Everybody deserves respect. And you guys have to realize that she idolized these women. She's in the WNBA. I literally mentioned that in my other video. Another video you guys probably hated on. I said, do you not understand that she looked up to these women? If someone's pro, you should assume that they looked up to other pros. And you guys just sat there with your smug faces and smug responses and just shatted all over the people she looked up to. All the people she idolized. You just shatted all over them. I've been trying to tell you guys from day one, it's the dysfunctional new CC fans that have been creating all this. And it's been making it hard on Caitlin Clark as well. She doesn't like it. This is not what she wanted. She just wants to play basketball. That's all. Yes, the league is aggressive and it plays rough. But that doesn't give you guys an excuse to start being racist everywhere. And yes, some players have acknowledged that the fact that she is white helps with her popularity. Helps play a part. Not the whole reason. Plays a part. Just like it did for Eminem and just like it did for Tiger Woods. The only difference is those two became great before they were that popular. Caitlin Clark is not great, so her popularity still has some explaining to do. Is it just because she shoots long threes? Then say that. Otherwise, people are like, well, what's going on? But not only am I making this video for me, to gloat, but also I want to give Caitlin Clark her flowers. She finally earned some respect. Not so much for how she's playing basketball, but she earned respect because she finally turned into a woman. We all have this moment, or not all of us, but hopefully you have a moment where you actually turn into a full-grown woman or a full-grown man. And you know this moment because it's a time where you stand up for yourself and you protect yourself and your name and what you stand for. You no longer let people use you, walk on you, say things and get away with it, or spread lies in your name or hate in your name, or basically connect negativity with your name or damage your reputation. We all come to a moment, especially when you're an important or popular person, that if there's negative people around you bringing negative energy, you tell them, get back. I don't want anything to do with that. If that's what you're doing, that's not what I represent. So you need to go take that over there or just stop. Because I'm sure most of us go through some situation in life where we felt someone took advantage of us or said something, or we let them get away with something and we ended up regretting it or making our own life harder because we didn't stand up for ourselves. And sometimes you gain the strength to stand up for yourself because you just get sick of it, or you realize you don't want that to ever happen again, or maybe you gain the courage through somebody else. And honestly, I kind of think all the above happened to Caitlin Clark. Because remember, at first, she tried to say she didn't really look at social media. She hears it, but she's ignoring it. and all this stuff, right? All this passive stuff. Well, with her being so passive about it and tiptoeing the line and trying to make everybody happy, it made it worse for her, right? She had more stress. The hate and the race baiting that was getting spread in her name got even more worse. The disrespect towards the black WNBA players got worse. Everything got worse. Everything kept getting bigger. Then it was her not making the Olympic roster. Then that turned into a race thing. Now she realized everything that ever comes up, if it's not positive for her, these people are going to keep doing it. But that's not the only thing that inspired her to speak up. Ironically, someone else, I think, gave her a little kick in the butt. And you know who that was? The same girl that's kicking her butt on the basketball court on the defensive side. That's right, Dejanay Carrington. The same girl that mocked her for the head flick, you know, when she got fouled, the iconic. That's right. She made a tweet after the first time Caitlin Clark responded to it and kind of brushed it off and said she can't control what people do. She doesn't really pay attention to social media, but she hears it, but she's just trying to stay focused on the basketball court. Well, Dejanay Carrington put out this tweet. So she tweeted this: "Dog, how one cannot be bothered by their name being used to justify racism, bigotry, misogyny, xenophobia, homophobia, and the intersectionalities of them all is nuts. We all see the poo-poo. We all have a platform. We all have a voice, and they all hold weight. Silence is a luxury." Now, I don't have a problem with this tweet because I feel the same way. I'm not going to let anyone spread hate in my name. If that's not what I represent, I'm not going to let outsiders represent it and just act like I don't notice. I would do that and I'm not even famous. I'm a nobody. So imagine if almost half the people in the world know who I am. You don't think I'm going to protect my name and my reputation? You're damn right I would. I would instantly, as soon as I heard about the hate and the race being pushed using my name, go out and make a public statement that I have nothing to do with that. I don't represent that. I don't agree with that. And anybody that keeps doing that is not a real fan of mine. But that's me. But to be fair to Caitlin Clark, like I said, I live in the suburbs and it's like 98% white people, possibly 99% white people. And I'm saying that to say this. I have noticed, and it's not a big deal, it's natural, that white people don't have the same perception as a black person when it comes to racial topics necessarily. Unless they grew up around a lot of black people in a black neighborhood, they're not really exposed to it. Again, it's not bad, it's not good, it just is what it is. For example, my girlfriend is white, blue eyes. I love her, right? But sometimes, you know, I am who I am, so I tell a lot of sarcastic jokes, and maybe I might make a racist joke, a white joke, a black joke, maybe something about white people loving mayonnaise. Who knows, right? It's just a joke. But sometimes she gets irritated with me because she is a more sensitive person than me. But that's okay. And she's like,
"You know, I don't get why you keep telling those jokes because I don't notice our differences. I don't get why you do."
And I tell her like this: well, that makes sense because you never had to worry about it. You never had to worry about how your race was different from another race because you're around the same race all the time. Whereas for me, I would be the only black kid in the class, right? So in elementary school, this is just an example. Say we were reading Huckleberry Finn. We read that back then. I don't know if they still read it now, but we read it back then. And of course, it had the N-word in it. So every time we were reading that book and someone said the N-word or something was coming up about slavery or anything like that, I could feel the class just looking at me. Like, what does Tyrone think about this? How is Tyrone gonna act to this? I would even have teachers telling me, if I don't want to read this book, that's fine. I could read something else. I could do another project in the back. So clearly, even the teacher, the whole classroom would notice that I'm different, right? So my point being is, not that I thought they were being racist or mean, but clearly I had to live my life noticing that I'm different. Not only me noticing it, but me noticing that other people notice it. And that never went away. That's how I had to live my life all the time. So now if I notice the differences, That makes sense, right? She never had to experience that. She was just a white girl in a classroom full of white people, so why would she ever be concerned about her race and the differences? There were no differences. Now, if you put a white person in an all-black neighborhood and tell them to grow up in an all-black school, guess what they're probably gonna start noticing? That's right, they're differences. But my point is, once I explained this to her, she's like,
oh yeah, that does make sense.
and that's exactly what I think happened right now. When Dejanay Carrington put that tweet out, I think Caitlin Clark read it and go,
you know what? That does make sense.
so then she decided to come out and make a stance for multiple reasons. One, so it can stop or at least help it slow down. But two, to save her own reputation. To say this has nothing to do with her. She doesn't condone that. She doesn't co-sign for them. That's them doing them, and she wishes they would stop using her name. And by her saying this, she has gained tons of respect from me, and I'm sure she's gonna gain a ton of respect from the WNBA. But they're still gonna knock her on her ass. This is still the WNBA, and their jobs are at stake every time they play. There's only 144 players. But as a woman, she's gonna gain all kinds of respect from them. But she's gonna get knocked on her ass. But with respect. And I deserve an apology from all you little idiotic haters. I tried to tell you this hate thing is fake. This is not what Caitlin Clark is saying. This is what you crazy ass fans are saying. And no, not all the fans are racist, but go ahead and say,
not all the fans are racist.
I know, not all of CC fans are racist. I'm way too smart to think that dumb shit. And if I was sensitive, I would be offended that you think I'm that dumb. But again, I'm here, I'm right. You guys hate it, left and right. But guess what? I'm right. Caitlin Clark stuck up for me. She said Tyrone Cross is right. You guys need to shut up or do your racist thing without using my name. You know what? We already had tons of ammo to fight against these racist claims. There's already white and straight players in the WNBA. What, the WNBA never had a racist problem till 2004 and it's only against Caitlin Clark? There was all kinds of common sense stuff and things that didn't add up when it came to them claiming that the WNBA is racist and hates her because she's straight and white. We had all kinds of ammunition, but thanks to Caitlin Clark, she just handed us a nuclear missile. Now, whenever these racists just start talking, all we gotta say is, well, Caitlin Clark doesn't agree with you. That's equivalent to telling a Christian, well, Jesus Christ doesn't agree with you. But now that you know, Caitlin Clark finally shut down all this racist talk and spoke out and said,
leave my name out of it.
all I need you guys to do is comment below. Tell me what you think. If you're a little hater, do you think you owe me an apology? Or I wonder if you new fans are gonna even respect her wishes. Or did you really think I would just start running out my mouth and not know what I'm talking about? I told you guys, the truth always comes to light. But while you're telling me your thoughts, I'm also gonna need you to hit that bell like the hunchback. Also click that hit tracker button and subscribe with me. And I'll see you on the next trip.
Day and night. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. All my life. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. Can't help I. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real. That's why I. Keep it real. Keep it real. Keep it real.